Hi, my name is Nabil Rashid, and my research topic is the effects of social media on gender expression, and particularly the heterosexual population. And what kind of inspired me to go into this topic is the increasing heteronormative attitudes that we're having online, and how there's less freedom for people to be really who they are online because of a fear that people will judge them negatively for that. So now, first, I want to go into exactly what goes through our heads that when we look at social media profiles of gender. Now, I'm going to look at research studies that support this. So, first journal article I want to discuss is Online First Impressions, Person Perception, and Social Media Profiles by Bissev, Gills, and Hasse. And this study had 211 participants look at male and female Facebook profiles, and then their initial reactions, impressions were then assessed. And what the study found was that male profiles were judged more as being athletic, whereas female profiles were judged more as being creative and friendly. Now, these results clearly point to a gender binary, an increasing gender binary. As already we know that the male sexuality is associated more with a masculine state and the female sexuality is more feminine. And this just further supports this gender binary, that it's prevalent on social media. Now, the problem with this study is that it only uses surveys to judge to record these initial reactions. It doesn't use any empirical data and any physiological kind of data. And this following study, Effects of Gender and Physical Attractiveness on Visual Attention to Facebook Profiles by Seidman and Miller, did this. And they had participants also look at Facebook profiles. They had them take surveys. But in addition to this, they also tracked their eye movements for 60 seconds. And it also added a physiological component to their data. And what they found is that people, when viewing Facebook profiles, pay more attention to the physical attractiveness of female profiles, and for males, to the factual information. So physical attractiveness for females more so than males, and then factual information for males more so than females. And what this shows is, again, a more conformity to traditional gender stereotypes, since females traditionally have been seen that their appearance, their attractivity is more valued, and this study is supporting that. Now, so far I've discussed studies that's gone into our initial impressions when we're looking at Facebook profiles, but I haven't yet discussed these gender stereotypes themselves, research that discusses them, their trends, and also how they're just evolving. So the study, Gender Communication and Self-Presentation in Teen Chat Rooms We Visited Have Patterns Changed by Kapitzik and Herning. This study looked at gender expression online, specifically in text communication, and also online chat rooms on a British chat room service. And what the study found is that young females tend to present themselves in a more friendly manner, more eager, sexually available, whereas men were seen as more dominant, asserting, and more possessive. So again, this study just compounds the gender stereotypes that are online, that are prevalent online. As again, there's a gender binary that males are more masculine, more dominant, more controlling, and females are more passive. They're more the object in the relationship. And this study just further proves that there's also a trend that's increasing in this gender binary, as it looks to past research and then compares it to research today to prove that there is, in fact, a trend. Now, after this, I also want to bring up a study, Personality, Gender, and Age and Language of Social Media, the Open Vocabulary Approach by Schwartz and Einstein and Othalsko, which also looked at gender disparities in language online, but they did this on a much, much broader scale. And what they did was they analyzed 700 million phrases, subject matters, and topics on Facebook Messenger out of 71,000 participants. It was a very large study. And what they found was that females used more emotional words online in these on Facebook Messenger, whereas males use more cuss words. Males also, when referring to their female counterparts, use more possessive words such as my, whereas females, on the other hand, they used pronouns. They just said boyfriend or husband, whereas males said my girlfriend, my wife. Now, I have a visual aid that I wanted to provide. This visual aid really captures a lot of here. I know it's a little difficult to see it. A lot of the different words that were captured in this experiment. At the top, you'll see words that are commonly used by females in this study, and on the bottom, words that are used by males. How big according to the font size, it shows how big the correlation between the word use and the gender is. And the color is associated with the frequency, red being more frequent and blue, and then green being less frequent. And as you can see that girls are using more emotional words, the heart sign, excited, and also males on the other hand are using more words, cuss words, as you can see, and also more objective words without emotion. So that was a visual aid that I also wanted to provide. Now these past studies so far, I've covered people's impressions online of profiles, and also just I've also talked about the current state and the trends of gender stereotypes online. But I haven't discussed or answered the question of, are people consciously choosing to conform to gender stereotypes online, to these heteronormative roles? So study gender stereotypes in Facebook profiles, are women more female online, by Ramsey, Obersk, Chamorro, and Carbonell. It gave 797 adolescents something called the BEM rules, sex in rules inventory test. And it basically asked these participants to compare how they view themselves online in real life to how they view themselves in real life compared to how they view themselves online. And what they found is that people actually conform less to gender stereotypes online consciously than what they appear to perceive to express in real life. And personally, I thought these results were going to be opposite. Based on all the last 4 results, they're all showing that they're increasing trends of heteronormative attitudes. But it seems that people are very open about themselves, about their sexuality, if they choose to be, and they don't exactly conform to traditional gender roles. So far I've showed those first 4 studies, and they all show that there are clear trends in increasing heteronormative attitudes online. But this last study is a rare exception. It gives hope that perhaps we are shifting away from these heteronormative attitudes, and people are at last finally being more of themselves online. Thank you so much.